point of this case is soon going to be the Fulton County Jail on Rice Street.
Yes, so that is where former president will be formally processed. His mugshot is expected to be taken. And that's also where we find 11 Alive's Ron Jones. He is outside of the jail with more on what that scene looks like out there. And I can see it looks like some demonstrators behind you there, Ron.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks out here, but let me tell you something. This is what I love about our country, being a veteran and also a former first responder with the police department, is the freedom of speech, the freedom to protest. This is something you're not going to see in Russia for sure. You're not going to see it in China, and you're not going to see it in Iran. There are passionate protesters here in front of the Fulton County Jail from both sides of the aisle, and we have some video of that to give you a better perspective because you can't really see what's happening here. There have been some flashes of confrontations where it becomes pretty intense, pretty dicey, foul language, insults from both sides. But the good news here is no violence at all, and that's what we love about that. Hundreds of protesters are now meshed in with the media, so there's a lot of folks here compressed in this area. And when you bring out more protesters, which more than likely we're going to see more as we get closer to the former president showing up here at the Fulton County Jail, when you have protesters and politics, it can cause problems, especially when it comes to security. If you look over my shoulder here, you can see that there are some barriers. We have been told anybody who steps on the other side of that barrier, whether it's a protester or the media, they're going to be arrested because the deputies are standing by. Now, that is a big issue, is security. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley is standing by to talk a little bit more about what's going to take place as more people show up here in front of the jail. Joe?
For the most part here on the Jefferson Street side of the Fulton County Jail, it's quiet for the most part at the moment. We do expect that could change, especially as former President Trump is just a couple of hours or so away from making his way from the Atlanta airport here to the Fulton County Jail to surrender himself on those charges tied to Georgia's 2020 election. We also understand the jail is set to go under a hard lockdown at that time. No one in, no one out. Here on the Jefferson Street side, we've noticed an uptick, certainly a heightened sense of security and law enforcement compared to earlier in the week. Atlanta Police, Fulton County Sheriff's Office, Georgia State Patrol, and many others all helping to direct traffic and maintain the secure perimeter around the jail. Police have shut down Jefferson Street to card traffic between Marietta Boulevard and Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard. Retired Secret Service agent Raymore expects interstates and roads to also shut down as that presidential motorcade makes its way here. And air traffic as well will also be at a standstill around the jail once Trump does arrive.
When former President Trump comes into Atlanta to go be processed, the motorcade route that he's going to come into is going to be secured. When he arrives at the jail, there will be no one, no prisoners, anybody like that in close proximity to him.
And two defendants, including former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, surrendered here at the Fulton County Jail earlier today. Bonding out did Meadows do, and there are still 8 more defendants, including the former president himself, still have the opportunity to turn themselves in by the deadline of tomorrow at noon. We do expect the president, though, in a couple of hours from now.